Hello, today is June the 6th, 2023. We picked up this Lenovo laptop. It's an i3 7th gen, and it's got Windows 10 on it. We got it for 50 bucks. It's in pretty rough shape though. I bought it because well, it was 50 bucks. But as you can see here, these little anchors to hold this hinge in place are busted off the mounts, right? So that's not good. And the other side is the same, even though you can see the anchors in there. There's one and there's two. This anchor is kind of loose. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out these holes right through so that we can put little bolts and nuts on it, and we can anchor this hinge directly to the base. But I want to beef up this base to strengthen it a little bit, so I'm going to pour some epoxy all in here, fill in this cavity, give it some strength. And I want to do this side as well, but I have to take this motherboard out in order to gain access to that. But I was able to find some little bolts that I can use. These ones here should be okay. They'll just fit in there, and I'm hoping that they'll be the right size to go through these holes here. If not, then we'll just drill them out a little bit. But I don't understand how these engineers that design these laptops can use plastic as their mounting point for such a structurally it needs to be structurally strong where they're putting these anchors, and I fail to understand why they would rely on plastic and a silly little anchor in the plastic to do that. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I also did a video on an S400. It was also a Lenovo, and that was about 6 years ago. We had to do pretty much the same repair. However, the whole corner was busted, and we had to epoxy the whole corner and strengthen it. But for 50 bucks, I mean, it's an i3 7100. So we've got Windows 10. It'll be a good backup computer, and the battery seems to be holding pretty decent. Last time I checked, it was up at 97%, so that's half the battle. And I'll put in a 500 gig solid state drive. It only came with a 120, but that's no big deal to update that. I'll get these anchors here these holes drilled, and then I'll get this all fortified. And then tomorrow we'll re-drill the hole so the screws go through, and then actually connect this together, and then see what we can see. It should be strong enough to hold. I mean, and the price is right, eh? So, I mean, 50 bucks, you can't go wrong with that. And it doesn't take much to fix this. Well, actually, it's quite a bit to fix it, but at least it's fixable. So I'll get cracking on that, and I'll have some more video after I get the next step done. Till then, bye-bye. Hello, so we're working on this again. So as you can see, I got some epoxy in there, and wait for it to seal up a bit. It's just going to make it a little bit stronger. I put these, I cut some Q-tips just to be plugs for the holes that I drilled through. Get that in the middle there. So I drilled right through to the back. I did the same on this side, but I didn't get as much epoxy on this side because it's kind of shallow over here, but I got some in there. And this side's pretty decent strong. Like, it's like the structure of it comes all the way down the whole side, where this structure is maybe a third of that, because we got this cutaway for the CD-ROM drive, right? But I'll let that set up for about 10 minutes, and then we'll put these anchors in there and bolt them in. And you can see these are our bolts, and they go in pretty good. Just left the nut on there, and then they come through these holes pretty decent. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right through there, goes in pretty decent. And I just got that nut on there. Let me just zip that nut down there a little bit more so you can see it goes right through. And then this will sit sticking up like that, but there is enough room for it to stick out a bit, which will be alright. And this side here, I was looking at on the other side of this motherboard, there seems to be clearance for that, the head of that nut. So, or the head of that little bolt. So the nuts will come out the back side. So we'll be able to trim them off to size. But sure, there's a lot of monkeying around when all they had to do is just beef this up, right? Like, what would have it taken to make a little plate that could have gone down in there, say 3/4 of an inch by 1.25 inches, and make that, tie that to the plastic, something more substantial than this little zero surface area little anchor that's not going to hold nothing. I mean, that was just designed to break, unless of course they meant for it to break, because then you have to buy a new laptop, right? I don't know, but it makes you wonder what they're thinking, right? Okay, so we got these hinges bolted in here now. I let the epoxy be a little bit soft so it'll just kind of form, and this is that other side, and I test fitted with that screw in there, and it looks like it's going to clear this. The head of this will actually clear the underside of that motherboard, so that'll be alright. But the screws stick down quite a bit, you can see, so I'll have to cut them off and then just file them. I won't put the hard drive in it when I file them, because I don't want to take those screws out again. They should be okay. And that's the strongest it's been in who knows how long, right? But I'll get it all assembled, and we'll start it up. And then one thing that I want to do is put in a 500 gig solid state drive. It's only got a 120 in it now, but I also have a Windows 10 load on that 500 gig hard drive. So what I could do is just put that hard drive in here and boot it up, but Windows will shut it down because now my hardware's changed, right? So what I could do is put the 120 in, and then go into the DOS prompt, into the terminal, and get the product key, and then I could just put my drive in there, and when Windows says that it's invalid, I would just put the product key for this device in there. That'll probably work, but I think I want a fresh load so that the registry's all nice and clean, and we don't have any registry issues or anything like that. But I'll get this thing put back together and then go from there. So that's it. That's the Lenovo. I think this is a 310 or a 300, an Ideapad. An Ideapad 300, I think it is. I won't know until I actually go on the site and get them to identify it, because there's no marks inside, and I didn't see in the system where it might show that. But anyways, that's it for now, and till next time, bye bye. So here you can see the bolts that come out to the bottom now, and they're tied in there pretty solid. That's probably the most solid that this monitor's been on this laptop since day one. And then see all this this sticky stuff here from, looks like there was some patches on here and stuff. Wait for this thing to focus. See, there is some sticky residue on here. The thing that cleans that up is some WD-40. We'll break down the glue, and then you just put a little bit of dishwashing soap on it and wash off the WD-40. It'll be as good as new. So we got some sticky residue here and some over here. It looks like there's a mark here. So I'll get that all cleaned up, and then we'll see if we can get that product key just to have it, just so we have it, and go from there.